Alright. Hello there, I'm Daisy, and I'm still trying to learn Python, learn to code. One step at a time, one late night at a time. I got to bed pretty early last night, and I slept a good amount, so we're trying to keep the streak going. Yeah, it's like 1:30, so I gotta sleep pretty soon, but I'll still give it my all. Next time I'll try to get on earlier. Okay, so where were we last time? We're on Free Code Camp here. We need to build this employee profile generator, but I believe it'll take me there automatically if I click continue learning. Yep. Alright, sweet. Okay. Let's just get right into it. Strings are sequences of characters used to store text data. As you might recall from previous lessons, you can create a string by enclosing text. Yeah, okay. Create a variable first name which stores the string John, and variable last name which stores Doe. Then print first name last name. Simple enough. Alright. Alright, gotta move my mic a little. First. Okay. I gotta learn to... Is this... What is wrong with me? Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting better at that. First name. I'm really bad at touch typing when it comes to any number or symbol. Anything that's not a letter, I'm pretty bad at. Right, first name. What was it again? First name. Oops. No, I gotta... Apparently I'm bad at letters also. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. First name, John. Last name equals no. My favorite name. Alright. Let's see. Print first name, comma, last name. Heck yeah. You should print first name variable to the terminal. Wait, what? You should print your first name variable to the terminal. It looks like I did that. What am I missing here? Was I not supposed to do it like that? They just taught me how to do that. Okay, alright, I swear. This is... Okay, last name. Come on. Okay, alright, great. So I was not supposed to do the comma thing. Even though that looks better. Well, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, maybe in real life if you're like using some kind of, if you're making some kind of database or whatever profile, maybe the last name should be on a different line. But that's pretty silly. I'm pretty sure, it seems like I had it figured out in the beginning. In Python, you can combine strings with a plus concatenation. Oh. Alright, okay. I guess this makes sense since this was the goal all along, to do the full name as one variable. Oops. Equals first name plus last name, and then print full name. Okay. Oh, see, that sucks. All right. Well, I think that's what they intended anyway. They're probably going to show me next time how to, like, if you concatenate two strings like John plus Doe, the result is John Doe with no space. To fix this, you need to concatenate a string containing a space between it. Update full name variable so it concatenates first name, a space, and last name. Okay, I mean, I can do that. I wonder if it is considered more readable to do quotes or double quotes. Let's do double quotes. I like double quotes more. It usually just makes more sense for strings, especially because most of the time, I think it's more likely that you're going to use an apostrophe at some point while typing a string, and slightly less likely that your string will have quotes in it. And even if it does have quotes, you can just use double quotes, and because like a single apostrophe is also appropriate for quotes, but not as good as it could be. Okay, awesome possum. Okay, can't be mad about an ad like this. I do like this website. I like anything that provides free education. I wish I had some money to donate, but I'm not, I am not in possession of the funds. Ask me later so I can also not donate. So sorry. I'm just gonna take advantage of your generosity though. Okay, next, create a variable. Address. Store the employee's address. Assign it the string. 123 Main Street. Main Street. This is I do like this style of learning, but I think this is pretty this is exactly the kind of thing that people get way too comfortable doing, that I got way too comfortable doing when I first, pretty much every time I've tried to learn to code, is just following little steps like this. It does teach you, but it doesn't like make you a better coder. It just shows you how to do things. But still, interactive stuff is always good. You learn by doing. This is like halfway in between watching a tutorial and actually making something yourself. This is like a tutorial that you do yourself, but you're still just kind of... I bet you later that the interactive stuff is going to be like, hey, figure this out on your own. And that's where the magic happens. Now your address seems incomplete. You also want to add the apartment number where the employee lives, so you should modify the variable. Man, sometimes my brain is just like not working. Yeah, I took some melatonin, perhaps more than is necessary, because I was drinking a ton of coffee today, so I want to make sure I can get to bed. But if that starts hitting me real hard, I don't think I'm just going to try to push through it. I think I should just go to bed. Okay, add the apartment number where the employee lives, so you should modify the variable. Yeah. Okay, one more time. Now your address seems incomplete. You also want to add the apartment number where the employee lives, so you should modify a variable. When you want to add content to the end of an existing string variable, you can use the augmented assign operator plus equals. This is shorter than rooting var equals var plus new text, for example. Okay. Oh, and with a space there. Cool. Remember that strings are immutable, therefore this operation does not change the original string. Instead, it creates a new string and reassigns it to the variable. Oh, okay. I imagine that makes a difference in some way, but that means that it doesn't change this string. This one just gets completely written over. And it doesn't add this either. It just makes a whole new string. Okay. The plus equals operator to add the string. I wonder if there's like a name, like there's a way to say this out loud, plus equals, or if it's just called that, plus equals operator. Because sometimes when it's like the Boolean thing, when you're doing two equals, I just call that equals equals, but like I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. What are we saying? Oh yeah. Address plus equals... Oh, I just realized it changed my double quotes to single quotes. Oh, and it did that for the other ones in the beginning too. And the space, it just changed all of them to single quotes. Maybe that's considered more Pythonic, or it's just cause, I don't know. Okay. Patu. Yeah, that looks right, yeah. Okay, awesome, I'm a genius. There we go. Okay, the output in the terminal is getting crowded. Before you continue, it's time to clean it up. Remove all the print statements. Just every single one? Oh, maybe, I guess it's saying that, like, these are intended to, like, not actually... That was just supposed to confirm that everything was all good as I was going along, but now we're gonna do something else. Now create a variable employee age, assign it the integer 28. Yeah. I mean, I'm not enjoying this. I imagine, you know, to a beginner, an absolute beginner, this would be invaluable. Very, very valuable. I don't know if I'm using that term right, but in my case, I'm kind of just typing in things. I'm just reading things and typing them in afterwards. Now you want to create a string that displays the employee's age. Start variable employee info. I'm getting better at finding the underscore thing without looking. And the equals. And assign it the result of concatenating the full name variable. A string consisting of the characters is preceded and followed by a space. Wait, okay. Full name. Crud. There we go. A string consisting of the character is. The characters is. Okay, we'll use single quotes this time because I think they want that. Preceded and followed by a space. Is that, I mean, that's what they want? I don't know if that, okay, alright. We're just taking half steps at this point. Now try concatenating employee age to the end of your employee info string. I mean, okay. That's simple enough. Yep, darn it. Gosh darn it, alright. Employee age. Once you've done so, you'll see a type error in the terminal, and next up you'll work on fixing it. That's because it's an integer, and I gotta probably do some like switchy stuff. Make it into a string. I'll have to do str parentheses. As you can see, this happens because Python does not do those. To fix them, use string. Okay. Update employee info assignment. Convert employee age to a string using stir employee age. Oh, right, yeah, okay, so we should just do it here. str. That's not an R. str. Then, boom. And then, bada bing. There we go. Alright. Yeah, let's try to just not trying to rush, but I'm gonna start trying to go a little faster. I mean, unless I start just rambling on about stuff, but you know, I'm gonna try to go kind of quick so that I can get a lot done, or a good amount done before, like, yeah, it's 1:40. I don't want to go to bed after 3. Now complete the sentence by concatenating the string years old to the end of employee info. Remember to include a space at the beginning of your string. And sometimes I like read something out loud, my brain just does not register it. Complete the sentence by concatenating the string years old to the end of employee info. Remember to include a space at the beginning and then print employee info. Alright. Is la da da plus space years old. And then finally print employee, forgot how to type, employee underscore information. Alright. You're looking good. Submit and continue. Okay, then now you're going to use stir function one more time, just like with the age, convert any numeric value for concatenating. Create a variable named experience underscore years and assign it the integer 5. Right. Equals 5, and then experience info. Yeah, I gotta do some typing practice. At some point I'm gonna fit that in my schedule. Maybe I should do typing practice also on stream. That'll be a fun thing. Assigning a string formed by concatenating. Okay, wait, that's not. Assigning a string by concatenating. Okay. Experience, totally not correct. Experience colon space plus, that's not plus, plus str experience underscore years. I guess I'm still getting some typing practice by doing all this stuff, even if I kind of already know how to do it. Right, plus space years. Alright, I think so. I'm having a hard time reading that, but that looks right. Check your code. Oh yeah, 28 years old. You should print experience. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Print your results to the thing. Experience info. Heck yes. Alright. We did it. Alright. Concatenating many strings using plus can get messy and hard to read. Python 3.6 introduced F strings to solve this. 3.6. Oh. So it wasn't even in Python 3 originally. That explains why I haven't really seen it in other tutorials. By adding the letter F before the opening quote. And that's probably why they added this to, because they recently updated this tutorial. By adding the letter F before the opening quote, you can put variables and expressions inside replacement fields presented by curly braces, for example. Alright, create a variable employee equals assign an F string that displays an F string. So okay, so even without print, you just put F before the string. All right, so yeah, crud. Okay, colon followed by space and the value of the full name variable. That's what's that? All right, that would be full name. Cool. All right, experience. Do I have to print it? It doesn't say to print it, so I'm not gonna. Okay, yeah. Currently, employee card only shows the employee's name. Now you're going to add more information to it. Update employee card assignment to include the final string should look like this: employee name, age. Okay, I mean employee. So this is all in one string. I don't. Wait, is that like this? Okay, I guess I do know how to do that. Okay. Age. Completely wrong. Here we go. Age. Curly. And then where is age? Employee age. Wait, okay, that would I have to do the stir thing then? It feels like it won't work properly. Age replaces the employee. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a shot. I kind of like then that at this point they're not hand holding me with this. Employee age. There you go, and then end curly bracket. Okay, this looks good. That's wrong. Okay, you should update employee card to use the F string. F employee full name age employee age, but it's not a string. Is that okay? Will that work? I swear, it might just tell me next time to be like, oops, it's still not working, so you better do the string thing. Yeah, it's not. Oh wait, no, it's just, I didn't tell it to print. Now it's time to add the final details to the card. Create a variable named position. Okay, with the value of the string data analyst. I mean, I mean, it's pretty cool that I'm like building a whole thing, even if I'm not really like thinking for myself while doing it. It's good that, just that I have to kind of, it's showing me what all of this looks like put together. Okay, position, value of the string, data analyst. Oh, that's not a string. That's not a string. Data, again, data analyst, and a variable named salary with the integer 75,000. Then update your employee card F string to include the position and salary. Should follow this exact format. Employee full name, age, employee age. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. So over here, space, whatever this thing is called, straight line, position, colon, curly, position. Oh wait, did we learn earlier that like putting things in, or like yesterday, I feel like one of the things I read said that doing this F string thing and putting things in curly brackets, it will automatically convert integers. Could be wrong about that, but I feel like that was part of it. Salary. If that's the case, then salary. $. And then curly. It's not curly. That's wrong. Salary. Curly. Wrong. Curly. That's okay. All right. We're all good. Okay. Finally, print employee card. Boy, to see the result. We are. Oh, what am I doing? Good grief. Okay. That's kind of cool though. So if I print, I don't have to type print and then do the F. I can just make it so the string initially. Okay, so it does just turn the integers into strings. That's good to know. Check your code. Marvelous. When working with strings, you'll often need to extract a specific portion of a string. This is called slicing. Syntax is string stop, where start is, okay, yeah, we already find employee code as, oh boy, okay. I don't mean to sound so fed up with all of this. I am having fun. It is just kind of funny to just be like typing stuff in though. Not that I mind it. I mean, I hope I'm learning. I hope this is like making my brain work better. G E 01 Dev 2026 JD 01. After that, create a variable department, assign an employee code. Department. But I guess I am learning. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't know before I started these interactive exercises, and now I do know. Like about how those curly bracket things will change integers into strings. I mean, I guess I learned that yesterday when I was reading it, but now I've seen and experienced it for myself. So that's good. That helps. Where was I? Assign it. The slice of employee code. I mean, I don't really need a space, but I want it. Employee code index 0. That's not 0. 0 and 3. Then print department to the terminal. Print departamento. Alright, things look marvelous so far. You should assign the string to your employee code variable. What? Wait, okay, hold on. What? Okay, define employee code as that. I did that. After that, create a variable department. Assign it the slice of employee code. Then print department to the terminal. It looks like I did exactly that. You just assigned a string. What? Oh, okay. I missed 1 0. My bad. But honestly, that in and of itself, that's exactly how coding is. Silly little things that you forget. Just one little tiny character out of place messes everything up. So that was a good lesson for me just there. Okay, let's see. You can slice from any part of the string, not just the beginning, and it is helpful in many cases. Create a variable year code. Assign it the slice of employee code from 4 to 8. This will extract 2026. Okay. Wait, what? Come on. Obey me. Year code equals employee code index. That's not index. Index 4:8. Okay, that'll extract 2026, and then we'll say initials. E code 9 to 11. Cool. This will extract JD. Finally print both to the terminal. All right. Is it gonna tell me I'm doing it wrong if I do the comma thing? I wonder. Year. I don't know how it just did that. Year code. Comma. Initials. Yeah, okay, so it did print them both out. Yeah, but they don't want me to do it like that. Okay. Yeah. Right, that has less to do with teaching a lesson and more to do with the way that this interactive tutorial happens to work. Employee code. Alright, that should do it. Oh, what am I doing? I definitely... that's completely wrong. Initials. There we go. Fantastic. You're doing splendidly. You can also use negative numbers to slice from the end of the string. For example, -1 refers to the last character, -2 the second last, and so on. To get the last, do -3:. Notice how the stop parameter is omitted after the colon. This means slicing should proceed up to the string boundary. Clever name last. 3. Using negative indexing to do that. Okay. Employee code. Employee code. -3. Nothing. Finally print last 3 to the terminal. Last 3. With that, the employee card workshop is complete. Cool. Okay, that was a lot of fun. We did splendidly, I think. Alright. Numbers and mathematical operations, and then a bill splitter. I think we can finish the bill splitter at least. Before I get out of here tonight. What is it? 1:56? Okay, I'll try to aim for like 2 o'clock. Oh, not 2 o'clock, I meant 2:30. 2 o'clock's a little early. Or maybe I'll just keep going till I get real sleepy. I don't know. We'll play by ear here. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get anywhere if I'm only doing like 40 minutes a day. I mean, that's not so bad, but I mean, I'm basically just reviewing still, so it's like, I don't know. Later on, I'm gonna have to like probably do this a bit longer. Integers and floats are primary numeric data types in Python. With them, you can store numeric data and perform mathematical operations. So what integers and floats? Integers are whole numbers without decimal points, either positive or negative. Yeah, I've learned I probably need to not speed read these parts, even if I think I know everything in them. Because there's little things that I keep on learning. So, okay. Here's how to perform an additional operation with integers. Oh, here's how to perform an addition operation, not an additional operation. Here's subtraction. Pretty simple. Multiplication is with the asterisk. Division is a slash. And then, I guess they'll show me modulo later. Floats are positive or negative. Okay, floats. And then addition with float. Okay, there's just everything with floats. Minus, multiplications, division. If you add an integer and a float, the result is automatically converted to a float. I'm assuming that's a Python specific thing. And then type, yeah, it's a float. It's true for other basic arithmetic operations too, like subtraction, multiplication, and division. It's strange that they decided to show me like 4 examples for every single one of these operations, and then at this part they're just like, trust me, bro, it works for everything. Like, that's strange. They were redundant. Well, not exactly redundant, but just they wanted to make everything very perfectly clear with all these, and then over here they're just like, yeah, you'll do that with everything. If you mix integers and floats, Python will return a float as the result. You can perform more complex arithmetic calculations, such as getting the remainder of 2 numbers with the modulo operator, floor division, and exponentiation. Yeah, exponentiation looks right, or sounds right. With both integers and floats, the modulo operator returns the remainder when the value on the left is divided by the value on the right. Okay, so 56 divided by 12, that's like 5, which means the remainder, it would be 54, so the remainder is 2. Nope, I'm completely wrong about that. It's 8. Wait, what? 8? What am I missing here? Did I do the math completely wrong in my head? Oh, right, yeah, because... Yeah, I guess the next up, so okay, that would be 48 with a remainder of 8. Okay, I completely did not do my mental math correctly at all. Floor division divides 2 numbers and returns the greatest integer less than or equal to the result. This is done with a double / operator. Floor division divides 2 numbers and returns the greatest integer less than or equal to the result. Wait, so... Oh, floor division. I guess the name is kind of a little explanatory. So in this case, it would be like 48? 40... No. Oh, 4. Oh, okay. Because 4 would make it 48, and then it would have an integer remainder of 8, but that's basically like not the integer. That is the most confusing math I've ever done. That's not true, but I mean, I've never heard of that. That's not only like in programming, but that's just a completely new concept to me, floor division. I've never... I wonder if they're teaching kids that in school nowadays. I heard everyone's having trouble teaching kids nowadays. But that's because of all sorts of things. Exponentiation raises a number to the power of another, and this is done with a double asterisk. Okay. Yeah, that's just basically the same thing as a caret. You know, I understand why for multiplication they needed an asterisk, because you can't like use x's to like multiply things like normal people do. But I guess I don't understand why the normal like upward caret thing doesn't work. Maybe that's used for something else in programming, or maybe it's just considered not readable, I guess. I don't know. There's probably some reason I just don't understand yet, but you'd think they'd just be able to do the regular syntax for exponentiation. I like the term exponentiation. I always think like raises a number to the power of another. I always thought like you could just call that, you would just have to call that raising a number to the power of so and so. Like, that's good terminology. I can just exponentiate this number by this number. So maybe I'm not using that terminology right, actually. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes you might notice the result of an operation involving float. Sorry, I was just looking at my OBS and everything, my stream summary. You might notice the result of an operation involving floats. It's more decimal digits than expected. For example, the sum of 0.1 plus 0.2 equals 0.3. Oh, this happens because numbers are stored in binary format. Oh, okay, yeah. And some fractions cannot be represented in binary. As a result, they are stored as finite approximations in the same way the fraction 1/3 cannot be represented with a finite number of digits and is truncated after a certain number of infinite digits. This leads to small rounding errors. Python also provides built-in functions for converting either numeric data or strings into integers and floats. So, is it just saying that this is an issue you just have to live with? Is there a way to get around that? There's also double floats, which I think double floats allow for more precision, but might use unnecessary data. But like, I wonder if they're gonna get into that and give me maybe a better solution for this instead of just saying, oh, here's a problem that happens sometimes. Does this specific thing happen if you actually do 0.1 plus 0.2? Will it always do that? Because that is, I don't know, that's kind of wild. This leads to small rounding errors. The float function returns a floating point were constructed from the given number. So 56 is my int. My float is float my int 1, so it's 56.0. Okay. The integer returns an integer constructed from the given number. Oh, so it just rounds it all the way down. So even if it's 12.9, it'll still turn it down to 12. I suppose that's advantageous. You can use the same built-in functions to convert a string into either a float or an integer. Oh, a string. Wait, so what if you use the string 45 and then use the float function on that? Will that not cause any issues? They only gave this example. This is another situation where I kind of wish this was more interactive so I can see for myself. I feel like that helps me learn pretty well when I can ask these little questions and then like give it a shot. That like sticks in my memory. Here's some other methods Python provides for working with integer floats. Rounds a number that is specified number of decimal places by default, rounds to the nearest integer, and returns a whole number with no decimal spaces. Oh, so you say comma. Okay. Okay, so this one rounds it up to 5, and then this, because they say to one, like they give one decimal place, it rounds it to 4.3. That's good. Turns the absolute value, -15 is 15. Okay. Power raises the number to the power of another or performs modular exponentiation. Does both. Right, so pow 2, 3 is the same as 2 to the power of 3. But the result, but the pow 2, 3, 5 does 2 to the power of 3 modulo 5? Oh, I guess. What? That's very strange. I wonder why they did it like that. Because I can't. That just looks confusing. Like, how would I like keep in memory that doing a third thing with this power thing? And that's strange also. I wonder why it's necessary to do, like they give you a perfectly good example here, 2 to the power of 3 modulo 5. I feel like I would just always write it out like this because it would be both more readable and more understandable to me and easier to remember this syntax. Oh well. Whatever, this language was designed by people much smarter than I am, much more knowledgeable than I am, so I can't complain. There's a double slash operator, divides two numbers and returns the greatest integer. Less than or equal to the result. Yeah, okay, which statement correctly describes integers? That's not true. That's not true. Whole numbers without decimal points. Yeah, okay. Which method returns the absolute value? It's abs. Okay, fantastic. Augmented assignment combines a binary operation with assignment in one step. Takes a variable, applies an operation to it with another. Okay, what? Augmented assignment combines a binary operation with assignment in one step. That's what this is? Takes a variable, applies an operation to it with another value, and stores the result back into the same variable. Familiar with languages, with the language like JavaScript, you've heard of the addition assignment operator, plus equals, or subtraction assignment, minus equals, and others. Those exist in Python too. The only difference is that they're referred to as augmented assignments. Basic thing looks like that. Variable operator equals value, which is a more efficient way of doing this. Variable equals variable operator value. Yeah. Here's an example of using augmented assignment to add 5. Okay, 10 plus equals 5. My var prints 15. Here's the same thing, but without. Okay. The advantage of augmented assignment is that it provides a concise and readable way to update a variable value without repeating the variable name. In turn, this reduces redundancy and potential errors that might arise from a typo or something similar. Yeah, I guess making things more simple to type out will also prevent the possible, lower the risk of a typo happening. Every operator can use an augmented assignment. We looked at the addition, so let's look at the others. Okay, I'm starting to yawn. It's a good sign. It means I'm ready to get to bed. 209. Yeah. The subtraction assignment minus equals. Subtract the right operand from the left variable. Stores the difference. Okay, multiplication multiplies the left by the right operander and stores the product back. 65 times 7. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Divides. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and it makes it a float automatically. I think they said something about how dividing would always make an integer into a float. I could be wrong about that, but I think I read something about that, or like yesterday. The floor division does what it says it does. Modulus assigns that. Okay. The exponentiation assignment operator. I think modulo 2 pretty much always either comes back with 0 or 1, which is good. It's a very useful, modulo 2 is very useful, I think. The exponentiation assignment does that, returns that. You can use some augmented assignment operators as strings too. For example, the addition assignment operator makes it easy to concatenate strings. Oh right, yeah, they did that earlier. And it can be used to repeat a string. I think they showed us that earlier too, but you know, not with the augmented assignment. Other augmented assignments throw a type error when you use them with strings. I minus equals plus equals. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Okay, so anything other than a plus will throw a type error or multiplication. So plus and asterisk are the only ones that work. That makes sense because minus and divide just doesn't really add up. I like that the errors feel pretty like detailed. If you're wondering if increment and decrement operators, someone put something in chat I don't really understand. Top viewers smmky.online. I think that was a while ago. I don't know what that means because why would someone tell me that someone else is a top viewer? I don't have like any viewers. My stream summary says I have one viewer pretty much all the time. I'm assuming that's me. Like, I think by having the stream summary open, it automatically counts me as a viewer. I mean, it's not, if not, I guess it's pretty cool that, like, there's been someone watching all of my streams, but I don't think that is the case. I have, like, 0, which is fine. That's fine. I guess it lets me feel more chill while I'm just talking into the mic. Oh, jeez. Like, okay, I gotta stop. I'm gonna try to not just like yawn over and over and over. If you're wondering, if decrement operators plus plus minus minus work in Python, they don't. I didn't even know about these. That's because Python deliberately avoids C-style increment and decrement shortcuts in order to keep the language clear and explicit. So instead of x plus plus, you can simply write x plus equals 1, which makes it obvious that you're incrementing the value of x by 1. I'll take your word for it, because I haven't really gotten into C enough to be confused by this. I didn't even realize you could do that. Although maybe that's why C++ is called C++. Like the idea is like C plus 1. Apparently the reason C# is called C# is actually because well, it's named after like the note, because in musical notation C# is C and a pound sign. But the whole reason they have the pound sign is because the pound sign looks like 4 pluses put together. So it's implied to be like C+++++. But it's like made by Microsoft and it's not really related to the dude who made C++ or the organization. Which is like, that's super like, I don't know if presumptuous is the right word, but that's like, that's wild to do. But then again, I guess whoever made C++ also, his name's like Bjorn Strustrap, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I don't think he is like affiliated with whoever made C either, so that's kind of funny. It's weird that they're like allowed to do that. They can like make whole new languages and name them after another one. Like, can you imagine like someone makes like a language and just calls it like Better Python or something? Like, would they be allowed to do that? Like, you'd think someone would be like, you can't just call your language Better Python unless it's actually like, unless they're part of like, I don't know, the Python, the official Python organization. I forget what they're called. Anyway, writing ++x in Python just applies the unary plus twice. It does not increment anything. Oh, okay. Print plus my var plus plus my var plus 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 equals 1. So you can put pluses and it just doesn't do anything. It says it applies the unary plus twice. But according to this, it doesn't apply a thing. It just does nothing. Okay, what is the main advantage of using augmented assignment? They prevent all possible syntax errors. That's a little, maybe not that good, but yeah, they provide a concise way to update the variables. What happens when you do plus plus and minus minus? Does nothing, work exactly like in C and C++. Interpreted as double unary operators with no actual increment decrement. They haven't used the word unary a single time in this tutorial. They keep doing that. They just like drop new terminology completely. It's a new lore drop out of nowhere. Which augmented assignment raises a power variable to a power and stores the result back in that variable. Yeah. Yeah, see, there's the upward caret thing. I wonder why they needed to like not use that. That's strange. I'm very curious. Okay. Yeah. Alright, next that. Build a bill splitter. Then this might be where. So they're doing booleans and conditionals next. And a trap. This one says lab. What is that? Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so it looks like the ones that are workshops, kind of, they have like a button here. It's like, you know, submit your code and continue, and you do it step by step, and it basically tells you every little thing to do. It looks to me like this lab one is just, it's like you have to do everything and figure it all out. So this is if I'm right about that, this is where it all goes down. This is where the magic happens. Get help. Get a hint. All right. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And a quiz and a review. This is just. All right. Are they gonna do? Okay. All right. So they don't even like ask the questions at the end. They just want to make sure you check it off to tell them you did it all. Certification project. So if I do all of these, then I can actually get an official certification. I wonder, would that be worth it? Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm not looking to like put this on a resume anytime soon, but who knows? Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm just going to use this for learning and not really for certification. I'm really curious if the certification like has gotten people jobs though, like that. But I you know, I can't exactly use myself like a guinea pig. I'll just look into that later. I'm gonna see if anyone, gonna see if there's any people on the internet saying that they like got free code camp certifications and ended up getting a job. Because I imagine for most people that's super worth it. Okay. You get all kinds of mixed reviews, mixed messages from people when it comes to certification. There's all sorts of people on the internet saying certifications are like basically worthless, but then there's tons of people saying they did manage to get employed with a certification, but other people just say that those people are the exception, not the rule. They're a rare exception. But if that's the case, that, you know, that still means that they're not entirely worthless. If there's even like one person who managed to get a job with these certifications, then they have some value. But I honestly think at the end of the day, I think in most cases where you can get certified, usually whatever certification you took, whatever you did that involved getting the certification, might require you to build projects. And I think like having a profile, like a GitHub or something with projects on it, is probably more valuable than a certification. Like if you could show people you built something, they'll probably like that more than even if you have a paid certification. Some of them you do have to like pay to take a test or something, but like I feel like that's still just not as good as getting like a whatchamacallit. It's not as good as getting or doing a project. I think that's a sign I need to get to bed soon. This will probably be the last thing that I do here. I'm really curious because it looks like that chatter who talked earlier, their name is showing up like on my stream in like the little chat box, but there's no text. I wonder if that's like an issue with like how I set up the chat, or if it's because of their chat in the first place. Like something weird about it is making it not show up. Actually, I can test that really quick. I'm just going to do my own message. This is a test message. Period. There we go. I should have said like a test chat or something. Let's see. Oh, the text is black. Oh, wait a second. So if I remove this terminal here, Okay. So I don't know what to do about that. I'll have to figure that out later. That's gonna be weird if just like, why are the names are green but the text is black? I don't remember doing anything to specifically make text black. I don't know how I might. I mean, I guess I'll just have to go check out stream elements and stuff later. And would white be better, I wonder? Should I make all the text white? Because I usually don't have like a white background, but sometimes I do. When I was on that learnpython.org, the background was lots of white and lots of ads. Maybe I can... I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. Maybe I should make it so my chat box like is see-through but not completely invisible. That way, even if there is black text or white text, you can still read it. I'm glad I noticed that though. These are things that I'm gonna have to start figuring out bit by bit, but right now I should just be focusing on coding. I gotta bust out all this stuff and get done with this. Okay. In this workshop, you'll practice working with numbers and mathematical operations to build a bill splitter. This tool will calculate how much each person owes after adding meals and a tip. To start, you need a way to keep track of the total as they're added. In Python, you can split a variable in an integer that changes over time. Create a variable named running total and assign it value 0. Alright, 0. That's not 0. 0. Alright, we're doing great. Awesome. Next, you need to account for the number of people sharing this. Bill. Num of friends. Make this one 0. Just kidding. Friends equals 4. This will be used later to calculate the final split. Each course has a cost. You need to store these amounts in variables to use them later. Since they include cents, you'll use the float type, which is used to represent decimal numbers. Here's an example. Okay. Create 4 variables. Appetizers. Set to 37.8. That's not 8. 8, 9. What am I doing? Okay. 8, 9. Main courses set to 57.34. 3079, 5734. Desserts is 3939. And drinks equals 6421. 6421. Alright. And that's all she wrote. We still got nothing printed. Speaking of, here we go. Remove interruptions. This is not much of an interruption. Like, even this little animatic makes it seem like this big pain in the neck. Help millions of people learn. I sure would like to. I don't even care about these ads, but, you know, if this site's helping people, then that's something I should look into doing. Okay, you stored individual costs. You can calculate the total. Update running total variable by adding appetizers, main courses, desserts, and drink together. Finally print it to display total bill so far. The value of running total. You might notice that the output has more decimal digits than expected. Decimal digits. As you learned in a previous lesson, this happens because numbers are stored in binary, and many decimal values cannot be represented exactly in this format, which leads to rounding errors. It still just doesn't have a solution to that. It's just like, hey, Python does this, and it sucks. Well, maybe it's not just Python, because I guess they all run on binary at the end of the day. What are we doing? Okay. Running total So would I just say, oh yeah, because normally I'd have to say running total equals running total plus those things, but I'm assuming they want me to pull one of these. Yeah, running total plus equals. Wait, so okay, I was about to ask, this would actually be a good time to test. Can I just do plus equals and then say appetizers plus and do a plus for all these? Appetizers plus main courses plus desserts and plus drink. And then print string total bill. So var, and is this supposed to be an F string followed by a space and the value of running total? Alright, I'm imagining this might be what I'm supposed to do an F string and then do curly brackets and do running total. But if that's not the case, then what they want me to do is just do total bill so far and then add a space in quotes and then add like string running, or I'll have to convert running total to a string. But hopefully I don't have to do that. Running total, because this is a perfectly good example of when I would actually want to do this. Check the code. You should update running total using the plus operator to sum all four costs. Does that mean it's gonna say, okay, so it specifically wants me to not do, I think, it wants me to not do the augmented operator like it taught me to. Okay, yeah, it comes out to the same thing almost. You should update running total using the plus operator to sum all four. Does that mean, well, because it doesn't want me to change it up here, because if it did, this black space would be up there. You should update running total using the plus operator to sum all four courses cost. Appetizers, main courses, desserts, and drinks. Man, it looks like I have done it correctly twice now. But I guess I'll give it a shot and see if I can just yeah, we'll cut this. Cut and paste. Not paste. I mean, I'll try Control V, I guess. Trace back. Most recent call last. Running total equals. Oh wait, yeah. So I gotta get rid of this now. Let's see, but oh, okay. It just creates more of those lines. Alright, this looks right. You raised a code error before any test could run. Appetizers is not defined. It's not defined until down here. I don't think it does not seem like I've done it incorrectly. It seems like it seems like there's some very specific syntax I'm supposed to use, and I'm not using the very specific syntax. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Okay. Okay, finally use print to display. Alright, I'm gonna try one more thing, which is, it's entirely possible that they just want me, because both times I tried doing the plus equals thing to update it, and then I tried doing it the non-augmented operator way, where I just typed in running total and added it. It might be that they just want me to do what I did earlier. Oh wait, I might still have it copied on my clipboard. Yeah, this could be the issue, maybe. And then print value of print quote. Oh wait, no, we need an F string. F quote. Total bill so far colon space that, and then the value of running total. So curly bracket, good grief, okay, running underscore total. Oh, and then oops, the other, close that curly bracket. Okay, it is once again output the exact same thing. Okay, that is precisely what they wanted. So really, it said update the running total, but it didn't mean program it so that it adds it. It just wants me to completely replace this zero string. I'm not sure I like that. Like, I feel like if I was actually building this, I wouldn't just replace the zero. I would like program it specifically to take the running total and then add the things to it. I would probably either put the plus here, or I would put running total equals running total plus these things. But here it specifically wanted me to just straight up overwrite it, like directly. Alright, the service is excellent, so the group decides to leave a 25% tip. You can multiply the total by the decimal equivalent of percentage. So you would do 0.10 with the multiplication operator. Okay. Create a variable named tip and assign it the result of multiplying running total in total times 0.25. And then use print to display the string. F quote tip amount. I wonder how precise this is. Like, does it give you any leniency, or does this, every single thing have to be exactly written as intended? Like, I wonder if I did this without an F string, if it would still allow me to do that, or if they really specifically wanted me to if they wanted me to specifically do it with the F string like this. What's wrong with line 14? Print F tip. Oh, right. Yeah, here we go. One of those. All right. That's right, right? Check code. Okay, fantastic. Just a couple more steps. Now you calculate a tip, you add it to running total, find the final bill. In Python, you can use the augmented assignment operator to add a value to a variable and update that variable at the same time. Now that you've calculated the tip, you add it to the running total, find the bill amount. Use the plus equals to add value,
For example, total plus equals 5 is a shorthand way of saying total equals total plus 5. So now it wants me to do it properly. So it says running total plus equals tip. And then finally use rent display an f string of total with tip colon followed by space and then curly bracket the value of running total and then close the string. Alright, that looks right. And it is right. Marvelous. With a tip now included, you have the final amount for the entire group. You have to determine how much Prezi knows by dividing. Python, you do /. We're going to variable name final will assign it the result of dividing running total / I'll do a space. Even though with the slash, it feels like you shouldn't do a space, but I'll do it anyway. Running total by num of friends. Finally, rent ring rent f bill per person followed by space, then some curly bracket magic. Final bill. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Alright. It's a long, long way to the capital city. It's a long, long way when you're sitting in committee. Okay. It's 20 is fine, typically represented with 2 decimal places. You should round the final result. Python has a built-in round function. It takes 2 arguments, the number you want to round to and the number of decimals to keep. Use the round. Alright, each base equals round final bill, comma, what was it, 2? Use round to round it by up to 2 decimal places. Assign the result to each pace. Finally, print each person pays followed by each pace. Okay. Pring, F, not nef, F, each person pays, colon, space, curly bracket, each pays, and then close that. Alright, we're good to go. 6213. Heck yeah, we did it. I'll post this to X and Blue Sky and Instagram. Alright, I feel like I could keep going, but it is getting late. It's 2:41. Yep, I'm gonna get out of here. We don't have much further to go though. Just this, and then this movie ticket. I like that guitar. And then we've got a lab. Tomorrow I'll try to be more awake. I'll drink even more coffee because that's always a good idea when you're trying to fix your sleep schedule. I'm gonna get through that lab, and right afterwards there's a workshop, theory and workshop, and then a lab, and then right after a tiny bit more theory we got a whole nother lab, and then build an RPG character. This one was here last time I checked. The last time I was like studying on this site, there was the RPG character thing. But I believe these other ones are newer. But I'm gonna try and do both of these tomorrow. Unless things are just not going well. Maybe I can... Yeah, I'm gonna shoot for the moon. or shoot past the moon. I'm gonna just try and get all the way at least to the Python basics quiz. Unless this lab just takes it all out of me. This looks pretty... I mean, I'm just gonna look at this and then get out of here for this lab. You'll use conditional statements to determine whether commuting is possible. Objective, fulfill, user stories. I should create the following variables. Oh yeah, and I gotta fix my chat thingy. Okay, distance is raining. You should use conditional statements. See if elif and elf statements to if elif and else statements. I wish they called them elf statements. Elif is kind of obvious, but it would be funny if they were called elf statements, because it is like else and if put together. Elf would have just been funnier. I guess that's not really the goal, but sometimes it is. To make things fun, at least. If not funny. If distance mi is a falsy value, you just print false. What does that mean, a falsy value? Does that just mean... I don't know, falsy. That's definitely not a typo, because I've heard people say, or I've seen other tutorials call it things like falsy. But I just don't know exactly what that means. Okay. If has bike, has car. I can has bike. I can has cheeseburger. Alright, yeah. I am... Yeah, I'm getting super sleepy now. It's starting to hit me. This doesn't look like it'll be too crazy though. Like right away, I think I just have to type in all these and say equals and then figure everything else from there. Yeah, it's only 23 things to do. No biggie. What is this? Oh. What the heck? Why would it be necessary to scroll that far? Does it, maybe it goes further if I type more stuff? Let me see. No, it just goes to the next line. But it doesn't put a 2. I hit enter, it does. Alright. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, for the time being. It's time for me to get out of here. It is bedtime. Well past it. Okay, thanks for listening, y'all. Bye.